Alright chaps and chapesses, I've been having a proper good look at Dune Awakening for you. Are you ready to trade your comfy chair for a one-way trip to the universe's most popular yet statistically least survivable tourist destination? Because today we're diving into the perpetually exfoliating sands of Dune Awakening. Forget your average weekend camping trip. This is survival on Arrakis, and trust me, the welcome basket usually contains sand, and maybe the odd old grumpy scorpion. We're a brand new channel, so if you like what you see today, then please subscribe for future gaming videos. Well, from the moment your boots hit the sand and most likely sink in it a bit, survival isn't just a feature, it's the main course, the appetizer, and probably the slightly gritty dessert. Forget casually topping up your hunger bar. Here the big boss, creative director Joel Bylos, says we're juggling three main party crashes: planet-sized sandstorms that'll redecorate your face, sandworms big enough to flush your spaceship, and the constant desperate scramble for water. You know, that wet stuff most planets take for granted. Yeah, apparently Arrakis didn't get the memo for that one. Let's talk loot. Okay, well, essential life juice and cosmic space magic dust. The two VIP resources here are water and spice. Water isn't just for keeping your character looking dewy-faced, it's priority number one, vanishing faster than my motivation on a Monday morning. Early game, you'll be rocking the iconic Stillsuits, Freeman fashion that recycles everything. Yes, everything. Try not to think about that too hard while you're crafting. Need water right now? Well, things get a bit grim dark with blood extraction. Yep, you can literally juice your defeated enemies. How delightful. Leaked info hints at blood sacks as well. Let's say staying hydrated involves some slightly questionable life choices, potentially involving the local wildlife giving you the side eye. Don't worry, it gets slightly less gross later with dew collectors and wind traps for your base. And water isn't just for sipping. Later on you'll need barrels of it for industrial crafting, because nothing says progress like needing a swimming pool full of water just to craft a very slightly better helmet. Then there's the spice, the good old orange stuff. The universe's most valuable psychoactive Pringle. Once you pop, the fun and the danger don't stop. Getting it and hoarding it like a space dragon is central to everything. The economy, getting stronger, and starting intergalactic slap fights. You'll be chasing spice blows, which are basically giant geographical sneezes breezing spice to the surface, mostly in the aptly named deep desert, because the slightly annoying desert didn't quite have the same ring. Expect company. These spots will be hotter than a tin roof in summer, crawling with other players, guilds, sandworms, and probably your Aunt Mildred trying to get hold of her spice fix. What's spice for? Well, consume it to unshackle potential, basically level up cool powers. It's also key for fancy crafting and the backbone of the player economy. You might even have to pay spice tithes to the Emperor. Talk about some spicy taxes there. Eating spice isn't just a snack. Hit certain spice blood saturation levels and boom, you can train more skills. It's a direct resource to power pipeline. Be careful. Whispers mention of potential addiction. Just one more hit of spice. What could go wrong? Arrakis itself isn't just a scenic sandbox. It's basically the main antagonist, constantly trying to kill you in creative ways. The extreme heat means you'll be playing hide and seek with the shade, or becoming a creature of the night, guzzling water like it's going out of style, which basically it is. Then the sandstorms. You've got the regular, I can't see the hand in front of my face sandstorm demanding shelter, and then the Colossus storms in the deep desert. These aren't just bad weather, they're planet-scale temper tantrums happening weekly that literally remix the landscape of the main PvP zone. Think of good old Mother Nature hitting the reshuffle button. That base you spent hours building, poof, gone. Reduced to atoms, or sand particles more accurately. But hey, they've also uncovered some new goodies like ancient Imperial testing stations. This weekly reset makes the deep desert an infinitely explorable endgame zone, a constant mad dash for discovery and loot. You'll be racing to map the new layout, maybe even selling the intel as sync charts. Get your fresh maps here, slightly sandy, guaranteed worm-free for the first 5 minutes. And we have to talk about the big guys, sandworms. The landlords of Arrakis. They're a major hazard and a core tension mechanic. The game's way of saying, well, I hope you brought some clean underwear with you. What rings the dinner bell? Rhythmic vibrations. Basically your footsteps, so you better tiptoe around. Vehicles, especially you reckless sand bike drivers. Fighting, mining, basically existing loudly. You can craft thumpers to distract them, essentially yelling, "Look, a squirrel!" at a creature the size of a skyscraper. Important note, at launch you can't kill or ride these behemoths. You'll be seeing things like obstacles hanging from those big split jaws to even, oh my god, my buggy's been swallowed whole. But plot twist, later super powerful players might gain the ability to summon them. Imagine calling in your own personal sandworm airstrike. Talk about making an entrance. If giant worms and killer storms aren't enough, Arrakis also throws quicksand, drum sand, don't try and drum it, environmental traps, fire hazards, grumpy local wildlife, bandits, and even radiation at you. Fun. Even searchlights from passing ships can be a threat. Basically, if it exists on Arrakis, it's probably going to try and kill you. So how do you avoid becoming worm food or a dehydrated husk? Shelter and protection. Base building is your best friend. Offers a cozy spot away from the storm and a place to dump all your carefully gathered sand. I mean resources. Plant down your sub-thief console to claim your turf. No planting flags here apparently. And get building with a build tool. Just remember, bases in the deep desert have a lifespan of a mayfly thanks to those weekly Colossus storms. Don't get too attached. The building system looks pretty slick with tons of pieces and even blueprints you can save, share and trade. Fancy yourself the Frank Lloyd Wright of the desert? Go nuts. You can even decorate. Sand colour curtains, anyone? And naturally, those trusty still suits are essential. Wiki Whispers also mentions still tents, which sounds like portable panic rooms. Very handy. Getting stronger in Dune Awakening is pure Dune goodness. You start by picking a mentor from one of the great schools. Swordmaster, Bene Gesserit, Mentat, Trooper or Planetologist. Think of it as choosing your own space sensei. This sets your initial skills. You also pick your home planet and cast for starting traits. But you're not stuck. Learn more skills from trainers around the world, allowing for multi-skilling. Become a Bene Gesserit who can also fix a leaky faucet, or a Swordmaster who dabbles a little bit in accountancy. We're talking Bene Gesserit using the voice, that Jedi mind trick thing. Swordmasters doing a knee charge. Troopers swinging around on Shigawa cables. Mentats deploying hunter-seeker drones, and planetologists making the most valuable cartographer maps. And remember how spice saturation lets you train more skills? Get spiced up to skill up. Aligning with a House Atreides or Harkonnen also nets you faction goodies. Follow the main journey system quests or pick up small contracts. Plus a technology tree means research. Finally, a use for all that sand. Well, probably. Need to offload some slightly used rocks or buy the blueprint for that killer sandcastle? Head to the exchange. It's the server-wide marketplace. Think Arrakis eBay for resources, crafting gear, blueprints, and for those player-made sync charts. The currency? Probably Solari. This encourages players to become master crafters or expert resource sniffers, creating a buzzing, player-driven economy. Capitalism, even in space. Combat is a sandbox affair, meaning you can mix and match melee, ranged weapons, weird powers, tech gadgets, and even vehicles in a glorious combined arms system. Got an enemy hiding behind an energy shield? Whip out your knife or sword. Remember the golden rule? The slow blade penetrates the shield. Penetrate, young Padawan. Wait, that's the wrong universe. A parry system means good timing beats flailing around wildly. For shooting fans, there are dart rifles, pistols, SMGs, shotguns, sniper rifles, and las guns. Yes, las guns. Don't worry, they've tweaked how they interact with shields so you don't accidentally recreate Hiroshima every time you fire one near a shielded buddy. Phew. Tech like grenades, poisons, and those mentor gadgets add more tactical spice, pun intended. Protect your precious self with crafted armor and personal energy shields. Bypass enemy shields with slow melee attacks or fancy disruptor weapons. Vehicles like the ornithopter, ground cars and sandbikes aren't just for getting from A to B without your feet catching fire. They're part of the fight. Ornithopters offer air support, missiles maybe, we can always hope, while ground vehicles provide speed and possibly mounted guns. Just watch for those vibrations. You're basically ringing the dinner bell for the sandworms. The environment itself joins the fray, with worms crashing parties, storms blinding everyone, and terrain offering sneaky advantages. Arrakis is huge. They're calling it the biggest Dune game ever. It's a zoned world with large seamless regions like the starting Haga Basin. You'll use the overland map and your trusty ornithopter, your glorified flying taxi basically, to travel between zones, each being a big MMO instance. The endgame deep desert is reportedly 9 times bigger than the Haga Basin starting area. That's a lot of sand. And it's the Wild West, full PvP zone with those landscape scrambling storms. Don't expect just endless dunes though. They promise diverse biomes. Phew. Getting around is key. Ornithopters are vital for long haul and maybe, dive bombing your enemies. They can be damaged and upgraded. Sandbikes and ground cars offer speedy ground travel that are basically worm magnets. Suspensors let you glide and hover like a graceful space moth. And you can even climb. And yes, you can walk, but on open sand, you might as well wear a sign saying free lunch here. The world's dotted with points of interest. You've got social hubs like Arrakis and Harko Village for gossip and trade. Ecology labs are old testing stations acting as dungeons with shiny loot. Look for shipwrecks to scavenge those contested spice blows and pop-up Imperial testing stations in the deep desert. Plus enemy camp locations tied to the Fremen mystery and of course resource nodes to scan for. Busy, busy, busy. This is a massive multiplayer online game, meaning hundreds of people sharing the sandbox. Expect to bump into folk, especially in towns and around valuable stuff. You can form guilds to team up, build giant sand fortresses, pool resources, and dive into PvP and politics. Guilds and solo players can pledge loyalty to House Arrakis or House Harkonnen for perks. Choose wisely, or just pick the one with the coolest uniform, which is what I'm going to do. A super cool feature is the server-wide political system via the Landstrad. Players aligned with the big houses will duke it out for influence, and their political backstabbing and power plays will affect everybody on the server. Sounds potentially more dramatic than any reality TV show I can think of. But if politics makes your head hurt, you can apparently opt out and just focus on dodging worms. Player versus player, good old PvP, is a big deal, especially in the deep desert, the designated full PvP zone. Expect fights over resources, cool spots, and maybe even attempts to wreck your temporary base. High risk, high reward, but don't panic. Areas like the shield wall entrance and the social hubs are safe zones where you probably won't get ganked while you check your inventory. Dune Awakening is really leaning into the weird and wonderful lore. Spice isn't just a collectible, it's everything. Power, money, conflict fuel. The faction beef between Atreides and Harkonnen provides drama, and the mystery of the vanished Fremen is a core story. Sandworms are treated like proper terror, influencing how you move and maybe even become weapons later. Iconic tech like the Stillsuits, ornithopters, shields, and the slow blade mechanics are gameplay cornerstones. The game is set in an alternative timeline where Lady Jessica did what she was told, meaning no Paul Atreides, but Duke Leto lives. This gives us, the players, more room to be awesome without messing up the books. You're not the chosen one, folks, I'm sorry about that. Go find your own destiny and maybe the Fremen while you're at it. We haven't seen the final UI, but sneak peeks show a standard MMO setup. Health, stamina, minimaps, hotbars, the usual suspects. Settings look comprehensive. controls, visuals, audio, accessibility options like remapping, controller support, colorblind modes, and UI tweaks. Funcom's also added immersive goodies like Razer Chroma RGB and Razer Sensor HD haptics for flashy lights and feeling those sandworm rumbles in your chair. Plus, there's support for fancy performance techs like NVIDIA DLSS 4, AMD FRS, and Intel XeSS2. Smooth frame rates even when a giant worm is trying to eat your car. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of Dune Awakening. Honestly, this looks massively ambitious, cramming harsh survival, deep lore, political backstabbing, and giant worms into one sandy package. The dynamic world, the unique combat, the promise of no subs, colour me intrigued. What about you? Ready to risk it all for the spice and survive? Or does the thought of sandworms make you want to hide under your desk? Let me know your thoughts down below. As I said before, we're a brand new channel, so if you enjoyed what you saw today, please subscribe for future videos. And thank you so much for watching.